Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and I hope you're well. Before I start the podcast for this week, I wanted to quickly say that if you like to write to me directly, just send your email to richard.anthony@lifeforlivingwell.com, or you can send it directly to hello@lifeforlivingwell.com. And if you also would like to know about what lifeforlivingwell.com community does, you can check us out on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. So let's get started for this week's podcast. It took me writing this essay sometimes this week is something that popped in, and I wanted to make a podcast about it. After I have the opportunity to watch people that demonstrate this trait, and I also think that a lot of us have this trait. In fact, everybody have it, but unfortunately, with the way things are set up and the way we live our life, it's so difficult to know whether you have it, because we wanted to do so many things within the 24 hours that we have in a day, and we don't even know what we are doing is the most important thing that we wanted to do. We have a burning desire to make, to create, or to be, but we have no idea how this can be done. But it's very therapeutic and soothing when we know few or two people that have already done this. Maybe you heard about them, maybe you watched them in the film, maybe you read a book, maybe someone tell you about it, maybe you are hearing about it for the first time through this podcast. Wherever you find this thing, it could be your own parent, your own friend, or it could be someone that you appreciate a lot in your life. But I wanted to tell you that you also have it. You might not develop it, or you might not know how to develop it, or no one has told you how to develop this trait in yourself. But by the time we finish this podcast, I hope that you will find enough desire to want to work and improve this trait in yourself, because it's one of those traits that will make things that you want to happen in your life happen, and it comes with a responsibility as well. So let's get started. So the topic I have for us this week, I call it focus. So I wanted to look at the focus as a trait, and why is it so difficult to develop it, and why we are not consistent in it, why is only few people that do it. Even the professional sport elites, they have to embrace focus into their routine, because without that, there's no way they will be at the peak of their career. So that means that to outside world, they are making load of sacrifices. When to do this, when not to do that. So meaning that you're making micro decisions every few seconds. And to become a focused person, you also have to be a certain person, like you already work on yourself, like you build your own, because it takes confidence to be focused, because saying no to a lot of things, it creates stress to a lot of people, and especially when you are still zoned where you are people pleaser, and this will be really difficult for you to be focused, because everyone will need you to do something for them. So it might not lead you to what you actually wanted to manifest or what you wanted to create. So you have to build this within yourself to do it. So let's look at it one by one. Firstly, this is the time where focus is critical and essential in the world today. If you are willing to create a better version of ourselves, lack of focus has been proved to be the enemy of progress. And this is very obvious in everyday life. You even see it, especially in our politics, when one party, especially in the Western world, where you have a short span of being in power. So you tend to start a goals or project, a big elephant project, and not necessarily going to be finished when another political party come on power. They also come with their own agenda and their own ideas. So as a result, we waste a lot of resources. We are not really making a deeper, longer impact that we wanted to make to the society. So take a example in your life. You started something and you started putting your attention to different things. The main thing that your attention wanted to be, you already diluted it with so many things. At the end, you do everything halfway. Nothing really tangible because you cannot really put your focus into so many different things. Many people fill their life with many activities, though it often takes them away from their immediate feelings and needs. Before we look into the benefit of focus, let's briefly explore how being focused for a few minutes is a challenge for most people. Even if you try, it's just a few seconds that your attention will be required, either within your own self, by your thoughts, by your thinking, or the style of comfort that you develop over the years. And if none of that is actually disturb your focus, your outside world, your friends, your family, your colleagues, politics, the weather, coronavirus, all these things will have impact on whether you are a focus or you don't. So I say that focus sometimes is like someone on a bike. You learn to ride a bike. When you troll over from the bike, you don't just give away. If your goal is to learn how to ride a bike, you have enough courage to jump over it again and give it a try again and give it a try again until you can find your body and the bicycle, find a balance where you can find the momentum to ride the bike. So think about your daily routine. From the start, you wake up in the morning. You may notice your mind is easily hijacked with many noises of what may happen in the day. And if you don't aware of this, it's easier to become a pattern or behavior. It takes a lot of mindfulness to say that we become what we think. Sometimes our thought about what happened in the past to our life could make that thing that happened in our life become real to us right now. And it takes a great awareness and mindfulness and intentional habit to constantly rethinking that. So this is coming from your thoughts, and before you know it, you are already in the zone of worry and anxiety in some extreme cases. It is practically impossible to focus when our inner world is chaotic. Imagine someone that on a rolling event, as soon as he sat on that boat, what he was thinking is tuna sandwiches that we have in the night. So it makes amazing moment of where he is or she is at that moment. Imagine someone that all the time, with the statement someone that have made in their life, maybe they value that person's opinion and judgment, and they took what that person have said to them as fact, and they replay it. That person said it once, but they replay it thousands of times in their mind. A focused person never allow themselves to get to that level. So, if our inner world is chaotic, we already have a battle in our hand to become a focus. and we have a little control with outer world. So if you are struggling to control our inner world, which is combination of our thoughts, past events, if you are not able to be on top of these things, it is practically impossible to focus on one particular thing for long. Our focus will become more challenging. So even though if you are in charge of your inner world, which what you should seek before you try to tackle the outside world, because the outside world, you have no control about it. You are also a part of the ecosystems. Your inner struggling, uncontrolled thoughts, unregulated emotions, and thinking perversely may become an hindrance to develop a focus trait. If developing focus trait was something that you're admirable to you and something that you need to live the life that you intended to live, these are the things that you have to be mindful of. Your inner world and your outer world will have a serious challenge in becoming a focused person. Should we talk about the external noises? I think we should. Think of this following: your phone gadgets. How do you feel when you are not in touch of it for a day? How do you feel when you get lost? I once went hiking with an old friend long time ago. By accident, our phone fell into the back of the car. I didn't notice. And as I dropped her back to her place, heading back to my place, 10 minutes later, I constantly hearing the phone ringing at the back of the seat. So I pulled over, looked back, and I saw the phone. I picked it up, and she was the one calling me from another phone she has at home. The state she was like someone lost a family member. She was so distressed because all her life, which I understand, is on the phone. The contact, the people she messages with. So she was relieved that the phone was in the car and I picked it up. So I turned around, drove back, and I returned the phone to her. The joy in her face is like she won the lottery. She's not an exceptional case. Many of us will feel like this if something sudden happened to our phone, because we have creating a kind of relationship with our phone, which is more dependency onto that phone. To become a focused person, so many things we wanted to challenge the time that you are giving to maybe yourself or particular thing that you're working on. How you manage this thing will determine how level of your focus will be. Social media. Because we depend on the attention we get from other people, whether they like our pictures or our video, or how we reason, or what we say, or what we do, or how many people like us, how many people follow us. It also makes it difficult to become focused. So if you getting notifications every few seconds on your phone and you constantly have to reply and respond to it, it is very challenging to get anything done if you set out to do things that particular time and that particular day. Also, worry about life challenges. There's no doubt about it. Will we face this at one point on our life? And it will come at different stages. And how we react to it will determine how much work we've done on ourselves already. And the people. So these are the agents that will challenge you developing focus as a trait in your activities or in your own life. So there are times that our focus will suffer, no doubt about it. Even the strongest one among us will struggle to remain focused when this period comes to you. So don't be disheartening about this, but the period will pass and hopefully we will return to our natural state. So there are questions you should ask yourself frequently. How much time do you spend without doing a thing? A lady once told me that she's not be able to attract the right guy. After talking with her for a few minutes and few days, it's very obvious that she's very, very restless in nature. She gets bored easily, so meaning that she feels excited when she starts a relationship. After she gets to a certain point, she gets bored of it, and she do a lot of behavior to sabotage it. So after pointing a light to her in this area, she was surprised how she's also responsible for a lot of things that happen in our relationship based on our own behavior alone. I didn't have the opportunity to meet all those people that she had a relationship with, but based on what she told me, based on what I've observed, based on what I've seen, if she can work on herself alone, perhaps she might have different experience in a relationship at the same time. So the lack of focus make it so impossible to keep relationship for long, because when she started it, she's already branching to different things that she wanted to do, which is fine. Is having a right priority and setting the appropriate time for different things make this happen. But when you are very poor in communicating what you want, what you need, you're just acting out, it's so easy for other people to conclude that you're crazy. So as a focused person, they don't have this problem. They are independent. They're also dependent. I know it's strange how you say that, but that's a fact. So there are questions you should ask yourself frequently. How much time do you spend without doing a thing? What is your actual natural state? What benefit do you derive from becoming focused? So I'm bringing this podcast to the end. But before I bring it to the end, it will not be justified without examining few benefits of a focused person in this particular podcast. I managed to just put 5 in this particular podcast. You may be able to read more to it, or you may have more than this in yourself already. Number 1 thing you will notice about focused person, they are very productive. So the obvious things you will notice about focused individual is that they often manifest their goals with diligence and patience. Their time management is spot on, and they're able to prioritize the most important thing first. Most people don't ask themselves, what do you want to achieve for that day? Is what I'm doing now, does that lead me to what I want to make happen? What do you want to try to manifest in 3 years' time? Is what I'm doing now, does that lead me to it? So this is where a focused person can appear serious and thoughtful. But again, it's a trait that if it's not something that is natural for you, it's something that you can borrow or you can develop it in yourself. But it takes work. And this is where a lot of people fall short, because no one wants to do that. They want immediate satisfaction right now. So Number 2, effectiveness. A focused person is willing to cut off waste and distraction from their life. How will you be effective when the places that you don't know where you put the pen or the paper or the phone, or you disorganize? You have no idea where things is. You pick course, every course that comes, you are not deciding about it. You let other people hijacking your time. A friend once asked me, "You seem to do a lot of things. How do you do that? How do you find time?" And I look into him and I say that he spends a lot of his time when he's not working on the TV. And I said to him, "How many hours you have in a day?" And he said 24 hours. "How many of that do you use to sleep?" And he said 7 hours. "So how many of hours in that day you used to work?" He said 8 hours to 9 hours. And I said, "Okay, what happened to the remaining 6 hours and 7 hours you have?" He cannot give account to him. So I said, "Okay, why can't you take auditing yourself, how you spend your day, and see how much you have enough hour in a day. It's how you use it and what you use it on that counts." Number 3, reduce stress. A focused person is honest and takes a duty and responsibility very seriously. They hardly express clinical or extreme stress. Because when you are focused like this, you know what you want, you know who you are, and you'll be able to be honest with yourself and other people. They might not accept it, but the time will tell. And then they will be able to respect you for that. But when you're trying to be other people to see you a certain way, it is very difficult to be honest because you don't want to hurt their feelings. So number 4, connectivity and engagement. They are great communicators because they listen and give their attention to their relationships. So when these people have a relationship, they create the time for those people in their life. If they are involved in a project or activities, they invest 100% of their time to it. They don't do it halfway. Number 5, improve decision making. A focused person making the right and strong staying decision, no longer seeking to please everyone with their decisions. So, to round it up, I encourage you to work on activities that improve this quality in yourself, such as meditation, intentional behavior, and mindfulness practice. I hope this podcast helps someone. If you do have any question to ask me about this, please write to me at hello@lifeforlivingwell.com, or you send it directly to richard.anthony@lifeforlivingwell.com. I hope I see you again next week. Until then, please stay safe and have an amazing week. Thank you.